Ever feel like you're just drowning in to-dos?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Work deadlines?
Uh,
Online shopping trip planning?
it never ends.
Right. But what if there was an AI that could just take all those, like, tedious web-based tasks and just, like,
Oof.
yeah, just do them for
Well,
us?
that's exactly what OpenAI is trying to do with their new tool called Operator.
Operator.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was launched this year.
Yeah, earlier this year. It's still in the research preview phase, but
So it's like a digital assistant, but one that can, like, actually go on the web and do things.
exactly. It interacts with websites just like you or I would.
Oh, wow. So, like, what kind of things?
Clicking, typing, scrolling,
Really?
all that.
Okay, so what kind of tasks can it actually do?
Well, anything you do online that feels repetitive or time-consuming,
Okay.
booking flights, comparing prices, managing your to-do list, those endless forms we all have to fill out.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Operator can handle it.
Okay, that's amazing. But how does it actually work?
Well, the magic behind it is a model called Computer Using Agent, or CUA for short. CUA.
Yeah, and this combines the visual and reasoning abilities of GPT-4o.
That's OpenAI's powerful language model.
Right.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so this means Operator can actually see the elements on a web page, understand what's going on, and then figure out what needs to be done to complete the task.
So it's not just following some pre-programmed set of instructions.
Note it's analyzing the page and making decisions based on what it sees.
Wow. Okay, so like a real person would.
Pretty much, yeah. So let's say you ask Operator to order your groceries online.
Okay.
It would go to the website, find the search bar, type in what you need, select the quantities, and even pick a delivery time.
And I'm just like chilling on the couch.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing.
Right.
Okay, but what about like passwords and credit card numbers?
That's a great question, and I understand the concern.
Yeah.
OpenAI has actually built in some safeguards, so Operator will always ask for your confirmation before it does anything sensitive.
Oh, so I'm still in control.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Good. And they're constantly working on making it even safer, too.
So who can actually use Operator right now?
Well, at the moment, it's only available to ChatGPT Pro subscribers in the
Okay.
United States.
Ah, so it's like a premium feature.
Right.
So anyone in the US who's a ChatGPT Pro user can start using it today.
Exactly.
What about the rest of us?
Well, OpenAI has said they plan to expand it to other countries and maybe even offer different subscription levels.
So hopefully it'll be available to everyone soon.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So we talked about like grocery shopping and travel planning. Are there other areas where Operator would be really useful?
Oh, tons. Anything where you're doing repetitive tasks online.
Okay.
Like imagine planning a trip instead of spending hours on all those different websites. You just tell Operator your details and it does all the work for you.
Wow, so no more like a million tabs open.
Exactly.
That would be a dream.
And it can be a lifesaver for online shopping too.
Oh, tell me more.
Let's say you're looking for a new pair of shoes. You just tell Operator what you want, your size, your budget, and it finds the best options and even alerts you to sales.
So it's like having a personal shopper.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And it can even help you manage your finances, schedule appointments, organize your to-do list.
Wow, the possibilities are endless.
Pretty much.
Okay, so I get the personal productivity angle, but how could businesses use Operator?
Oh, there are so many ways businesses could benefit.
Okay.
Think about all those repetitive administrative tasks like data entry form, filling invoice processing.
Yeah, so boring.
Right. Operator can do all of that, freeing up employees for more important work.
So they can focus on like the big picture stuff.
Exactly. And it's not just about saving time. Operator can also reduce errors.
Right, because it's a computer.
Yeah, it can handle those tasks much more accurately and consistently than a human.
So win-win.
Exactly.
I can see why businesses would be excited about this.
And another area where Operator could be really valuable is customer service. It can handle those routine inquiries, provide product information, even resolve simple issues.
So the human customer service reps are free to deal with the more complex problems.
Exactly. It allows businesses to provide faster and more efficient support, which makes everyone happier.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this is all really exciting, but Operator's still pretty new. Are there any limitations we should know about?
Well, like any new technology, there are always limitations.
Of course.
One challenge for Operator is dealing with complex or poorly designed websites,
Huh.
like websites that are constantly changing or have unstructured data.
So it's not a magic bullet.
Not yet, at least, but OpenAI is working on it.
And they want feedback from users.
Oh, definitely. They want to know what works and what doesn't so they can keep improving it.
That's great. So before we move on to the next part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm curious about the cost.
Right.
We talked about it being available for ChatGPT Pro's subscribers, but how much does that actually cost?
So right now, the ChatGPT Pro subscription, which includes Operator, is $200 a month.
Okay, so that's a pretty significant investment, especially for individuals.
It is, but for businesses that can really leverage Operator's capabilities, it could be a huge return on investment.
So you have to weigh the costs and benefits.
Exactly. And remember, it's still early days for this technology.
Right.
As it gets more mature and more widely available, I'm sure the price will come down.
Makes sense. So what does the future hold for operators? What kind of developments can we expect to see?
OpenAI has big plans.
Okay.
First of all, they want to expand access, make it available in more countries to more users.
So world domination.
Well, something like that. They also want to improve operators' capabilities,
Like what?
like making it able to handle even more complex websites and integrating it with more third-party apps.
So we'll be able to do even more.
Exactly. And they're also exploring ways to integrate Operator with ChatGPT.
Oh, wow. Their chatbot.
Yeah. So you could have one platform where you could get information, generate content, and complete tasks all in one place.
Yeah, that would be amazing. It's like having the ultimate digital assistant.
Right at your fingertips.
Wow, so it sounds like Operator is going to be even more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. And as it gets more powerful, it's going to have a bigger impact on all kinds of industries.
We've talked about e-commerce, healthcare, and finance, but I bet there are tons more.
Oh, yeah. We've only just scratched the surface.
Okay, so before we dive into those specific use cases,
Sure.
I want to talk about accessibility.
Okay.
One of the things I find really exciting about Operator is how it could help people with disabilities
Yeah, that's a really important aspect.
to navigate the web more easily.
Absolutely. It has the potential to make the online world a lot more inclusive.
Can you give us some examples of how it could be used as assistive technology?
Sure. So imagine someone who has limited mobility and has trouble using a mouse or keyboard.
Okay.
Operator could let them control their computer with their voice.
Wow.
They could browse the web, send emails, even shop online, all hands-free.
That would be life-changing for so many people.
And it could also help people with visual impairments. Operator could read web pages out loud, describe images, even navigate those really complex websites.
So online content would be accessible to so many more people.
Exactly. And because it can work in multiple languages, it could also help to break down language barriers.
That's amazing. So people who speak different languages could communicate and access information more easily.
It really has the potential to create a more inclusive digital world.
It sounds like Operator could be a game changer, not just for personal productivity, but for society as a whole.
I think so. It's a really powerful example of how AI can be used to solve real problems and make people's lives better.
Well, I'm really impressed with everything I've learned about Operator today.
Me too.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, is there anything else our listeners should know? Any final thoughts or predictions for the future of AI-driven task automation?
Well, I think the main thing is that we're at a turning point.
Okay.
AI is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's becoming part of our everyday lives, and tools like Operator are leading the way.
So AI is going to change our lives. It's just a question of how.
Exactly, and it's happening fast, so it's important that we stay informed and have these conversations and make sure that AI is developed in a way that benefits everyone.
Very wise words. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise on this fascinating topic.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to this deep dive into Operator.
Hope you enjoyed it.
If you want to learn more, be sure to check out the show notes for links to some resources.
Yeah, lots of good stuff there.
And don't forget to tune in tomorrow evening for another exciting episode,
We'll be back.
exploring the cutting edge of innovation. Until then, stay curious.